Cyberbullying has reached epidemic growth with more than 25% of school-age children affected. Gabriella Von Ray, bullying prevention expert and author, is in Tulsa as part of her nationwide effort to stop bullying. And she's here this morning to tell us about her campaign. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Gabriella.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you've got a really unique slogan. What are you telling kids to do?
I tell them to pick up the ball. You're going to wonder, what ball? But when I go to assemblies, I dribbled in the beginning with a basketball, and I said, we as a society have dropped the ball in human kindness. Won't you help me pick it up? So I brought the ball with me, of course.
And you've got a physical ball that you are taking around the country with you. What are you having different schools do with this ball?
I throw it into the audience, and then the child says, what do I do now? And I said, just pick it up and pretend that this ball is a child. It's one of you. It's that child that is being ridiculed or shunned or pushed aside in the cafeteria. And I said, that's the child you want to go and sit next to. It's that easy. And the visual really helps for them. It gives them something to hold on to when it happens, I've been told by them.
And you have to pay attention if a ball's flying into the audience, right?
You do.
So it makes it a little bit easier. There are some terrifying stats out there about bullying and cyberbullying and how it's affecting our children. How many children are affected out there?
They say 50% of students have been cyberbullied, but I would say it's actually more, because don't forget, there's something about cyberbullying, which I call, by the way, cyber tormenting, is that it goes unreported, because sometimes something is said, but then it leaves into the cyber world that we can't get to it anymore. And children, and they're really, hopefully, want to report it, but they don't, and I tell you why. They always believe it goes away. And I go out there to tell them it doesn't. They have to report it immediately, because I don't want it to escalate.
One of the things that you give out are tips for bully proofing. What are some of the tips that you give the kids and parents out there? So
for the kids, first of all, become an active witness. That's the first thing. Stop being a bystander, become an active witness. I really want them to do that. And I tell them that it's not tattletaling. It's really when you see something, not a tease, when you see something repeatedly, go and tell them that. For the parents, don't feel like it's a stigma when your child is the bully. You just need to talk, because the bully also has a problem. The bully and the victim are mirror images of each other. So that's one of the things I say to parents. And communication. Parents out there, they don't believe that the smartphone is an entire computer. And it is. And so I want them to communicate with their children together. Say to a child, hey, show me that new app. I'd like to learn too. And make it fun. Because that way they'll show you and you stay on top and you can guide.
All right, are these things that people can read in your book as well? Are these some of the tips that you give there?
No, the book is really about being an outcast and how I overcame fear, because fear is guides us a lot, and acceptance. So that is something I teach in the schools, the acceptance and the ownership of your own uniqueness.
So is this a personal story here? Is this something that you've dealt with personally, that you've had to overcome?
I was adopted at 3 years old in the 60s from Pakistan to the Netherlands. Now, those were worlds apart back then. It isn't anymore, of course. but you can imagine going to school with children that all looked like you. Blue eyes and blonde hair. I stood out. So I got bullied for something I can't change. And that is quite awkward. So when I talk to the children today, and it's a multicultural pot that hasn't totally melted yet. And so when I see, for example, an American child, American born by a mother and a Japanese father, for example, they go through things that are heartbreaking. And it's not fun to be bullied for stuff like that the boy or the girl cannot change.
Well, it's great that you're giving them those tools to be able to succeed. And you're taking this ball around. Where's the last stop this ball is going to make?
The president. The commander-in-chief of this nation, because I really believe that he embodies the same quote of JFK. That's why I started it on November 22nd at the commemoration of JFK. He embodies to me, and I hope I'm right, he embodies, it's not what we can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. I'm really a proponent of that quote, and I think Obama embodies that too.
Well, good luck on your mission. Thank you so much for giving us these tips. I think it's something that a lot of us can use out there. We appreciate it.
Thank you for picking up the ball.
Of course. We're happy to pick up the ball. We got to tell you guys how you can keep the ball rolling. It's Gabriella Von Ray. Anti-bullying campaign. You can look up more information on our website. It's hername.com/pickuptheball.